Hello everyone. So we're going to be having our new session of Bitcoin analysis. Hope everyone is doing fine. The last one we did was on the 20th of November. And so now it's 8 days later. So we're going to see first of all the trading setups that we had in mind in the 20th of November, what happened since then. So as a reminder, let's just do a quick uh, back in time. 20th of November, this was the view that we had. Okay, that was our view, and we had the following setups. We had a short trade from here, and we had, I don't know why the long is taken out, but it's okay. And we had a long trade from this naked pointer control. The idea being that we wanted to see this swing failure pattern over here, and then we go back maybe to the highs of the range. Okay, so we also have this daily that was right there. Okay, so that was basically the setup we had in mind. This was the naked puck that was at the time aligned with the 618 retracement, and that was the short that we were and that was the long that we were expecting here, where we were thinking, okay, this is going to take the liquidity here, it's gonna hit it, go below, that would be the perfect scenario, and then go back up. Okay, so what actually happened? Fast forward. So this setup, the short setup, was never hit. Okay, we never had the opportunity to enter here because actually we've been trading below this level. However, the long setup was hit in a way where actually you had to be you had to understand what the chart was showing you. So basically what happened, the idea of having a liquidity grab is exactly what happened. We had a liquidity grab, but it was really close. So you have to focus right there because you're talking about a few dollars of difference. So that was basically the low when we were doing our analysis last week. And look at that. We went through it for an amount of how much? 0.08%. It's nothing. $13. $13 swing failure pattern, and it's crazy because as soon as this happened, what do you have? You have this huge bounce to the upside. And by huge, I mean, I was, 8%, almost 9%. So, okay, this setup, we took it. Okay, we took it together with Pierre. Personally, I didn't take it at the swing failure pattern. I'm going to explain to you why. Because after seeing this, when we were going down, so let's go maybe on the 2 hours. Yeah. When we were going down, I was thinking we're going to go lower. Okay. So I was expecting this move to go lower. What happened is that we swing failure pattern this part, and then we started reclaiming higher levels, like going back up. And so upon seeing this move up, I was no longer sure that we were actually going to hit this. And my idea was that, okay, if the low is in here, what we could expect, the best entry possible would be, honestly, just a retracement. So you take this pivot low, this pivot high, you do a 618 retracement, and I was hoping for this to give us this retracement here. Why? Because that's a very easy invalidation setup. You just put your stop loss below the previous low. If the bottom is in, what you want is you want to trade the retracement and you want to buy here because you're expecting higher prices, potentially a rotation towards the highs of the range. And basically this is what we had. We had a rotation, but the rotation didn't really fully target the value area high of the range, and we'll get to this later. So the idea here is that you had two entries for this trade, in my opinion, honestly. The best entry scenario was obviously this one here. Like as soon as you see the wick and then you see that you go above, it's a very low percentage risk scenario. So you enter here basically. You take your long here because you see that here the liquidity is taken. But it is such a close call that I could understand that you don't take this trade. But this here was a nice trade. Okay. And the safest trade, the one that we took, was actually to wait to see that we're having here some buying pressure. Here we saw, if you had the order flow, we saw that you had longs opening, like some with buying imbalances. And so you saw the volume starting to pick up again. And we saw here the retracement. The retracement was on decrease in open interest. You were not seeing new shorts opening. And so this gave you basically the confidence to buy here in this area with a very low, like 1.3% risk with a reward potentially at this time. We were hoping to at least go to this high with a 16% potential of a trade. So yeah, that's the long that we took. And actually, yeah, just a bit later, what happened? You had this huge bump to the upside, and here is where you actually have to. Let me just remove the setup just to show you where basically we had this big friction that stopped the move up, at least for now. It's basically, if you take a fixed range pool from here to here, so you want to have like the whole range, you can go below, but it's not a big deal. It's this point of control right there. This point of control right there, basically we hit it. It was clearly a resistance. We went above it, failed auction. We went below it, above it, below it, above it. So you had like lots and lots and lots of positions opening here in a very, very specific way, because it was like almost an academic pattern, if I could say, because look at that. It was really perfect. It was really perfect. You had the pivot A, pivot B, pivot C, pivot D. And from that here, from those 4 pivots, you were able to predict that here you would have a resistance, here you would have a support, and then right back you go into the point of control. You try to reclaim it, you can't. You try to reclaim it, wick above, wick above, wick above. And then the final wick here takes out all the liquidity above here, above this kind of mini range that we made, and the drop. And the drop happened. Okay, so this is what we saw through the last week. So we saw that the long setup was activated. We took the long. Of course, you take profits along the way. Okay, a sensitive place to take profit would have been, for example, upon seeing this reaction here, I always take profit here, because right at this moment when you're going down, you're thinking we can go lower. So the first place where you want to take profit is a bit before the previous high on the local time frame, because if you're wrong, if this is not a liquidity grab and this is just like a normal bounce because people are taking their profits here, then you could expect like a move that just does that. You go up here, here, and then actually you go down, right? So what you were hoping here when you were taking profits here is that this high gets taken out, but you never know. Maybe it's not going to get taken out. And if it's not taken out, then you can actually see a move down again, okay? Fortunately, this is not what happened, but you take profits here because still it's a very, very nice take profit. And if you actually do the simulation here, it was a 1.9% first take profit, which is amazing, So that was the first take profit. Upon seeing this huge bounce here and that we actually reclaimed, we played around the value area low, but we kind of reclaimed it. Upon seeing this, because this was actually pretty fast, and then you go back up, personally, and I think Pierre did the same, I decided to no longer take profits on this long because I was expecting it to rotate to the top. And the only thing I did is just move my stop loss. So initially my stop loss was here, okay? Upon seeing this move, taking out the highs and hitting my first take profit, I moved it above here. So right where I took my trade, basically at break even. That way, if I ever get stopped out, if this, instead of going up, it would have been down, I would have been stopped out here, but taken profit at the 2% level. So that would have been a winning trade. And then we went back up. And so the idea was basically to trail your stop loss to make sure that you're not missing out on any potential long trade. Okay, so now, right now, I'm going to tell you like really easily, my stop loss is below this area of consolidation. Okay, because we were consolidating here. My idea was not to put my stop loss right there because this can get taken out very easily. And it's like 2 areas of consolidation before and below the lows right there. So right now I'm not stopped out at my long. This stop loss is in profit because I entered here. Should I get stopped out? It's okay, it's fine. It was still a winning trade, right? And the idea was, yeah, to trail the stop loss. And because we saw that there was a consolidation here in a triangle pattern, a triangle fashion, you don't know what's going to happen, okay? When you see that it's going up and then consolidate, you can expect it to go up. And I know that Pierre, you had this in mind. I was also thinking that we could go up, but keeping in mind that the general sentiment of the market is bearish and that we've been just going down since almost 1 year now, it was actually not a bad idea to think that we could like literally just dump again, you know, and just challenge those lows, for example, and maybe finally hit those levels. Because in my mind, this setup is still a valid setup. I would still take this long if I see the reaction that I want to. I would still take this long. We haven't hit those levels. Those are high time frame levels. You have liquidity that's been created here. Everybody that longed here, some people put their stop losses here without taking any profit. So they're getting back here, not taking any profits and having stops here. So this can still act as a liquidity grab, and I would still take this long if it happens. Okay, it's just that when we took the long earlier this week, it was a reaction to what the market was showing us. It was not the trade we were expecting, but it was like part of it because we saw the liquidity grab. So that was a good trade. All in all, it was still a good trade. But this for me is still a possibility. Okay, so I'm just keeping it in mind. So fast forward to what we did like previously during this weekend and the past few days. We had this triangle consolidation. I compounded a bit of my long personally when we hit the lower part of the triangle, thinking we were going to go up. As soon as I saw that there was this big resistance here, I was on a call with Pierre and I was basically telling him, okay, so I compounded here. We hit this point of control. I'm hoping that we go up, but have no idea if we're really going to go up or not. So upon seeing that we were trying to break here, my reaction was basically, okay, you know what? I bought here. I compounded for a hefty 1.2% profit. I took additional profits at the point of control, not knowing if it's going to go up or down. All in all, it was a good decision because then we went back down. So yeah, that's basically the last week of trading. You had some opportunities, of course, around the point of control, but as a general rule, especially if you're swing trading, taking trades around the point of control of this whole range is basically a gamble. You don't really know if it's going to go up. You don't know if it's going to go down. You can like trade it really on a low time frame. You have some opportunities, especially when you see like those liquidity grabs and things like this. But again, okay, we're having some move here. But again, you don't know where it can go. You have no idea where it can go. So in my mind, you should wait. And here, obviously, we hit the point of control and we had a rejection. And now we're testing again the value area low of this whole range. So let's wait and see. If this is not lost, because this is basically our line of support right now. If this is not lost and clean and we start to see that we have like another bullish market structure, maybe we can expect at least a rise back again to this point of control, and why not to the value area high. But upon seeing this weakness, I honestly don't know if this support is going to last. Maybe this support is going to get broken through, and if it does, well, we're prepared. We know where to trade it next to. We know that this level is still a level of support, is still a very interesting level of support, and we should treat it as such, okay? In addition to that, we have some new levels. So what I suggest now, because this is what we usually do, is that we close all that. Okay, we're gonna keep the trades just because they're interesting trades. Gonna remove that, remove the trying pattern, and we're gonna see what are the new levels that we had during the past week. So do we have new daily levels? The previous daily levels that we had, it was one below here, and we didn't have this daily level at the time. This was created, so sorry, that's me going a bit ahead. So basically that's the picture, before right after our last session, okay? So we have a new level that's right here that I just deleted, but I just wanted to show you. So that's the new level. It's a daily level right there, okay? Usually actually you would go from the higher time frame first. So just for the sake of going through the monthlies, do we have monthly levels here? No. Let's go on the monthly chart. Of course, there's no new month, so it makes no sense. On the weekly chart, what do we have? Do we have a new weekly level? We actually had one, but it's been traded through now, but it's still a weekly level. So let's just mark it down right there. Okay, do you see it? This is the pivot. And as soon as we so basically we open the week here, we close the candle here, we open the week, so this week today basically we opened it right there, and then we went right through this weekly level. But this weekly level was created yesterday night basically at the opening. So I would keep it on my chart because maybe you had no reaction on the way down. you can still expect a reaction when you're hitting it back up. This is like a general rule, an SR flip rule. Even if you haven't seen a reaction at the big high time frame level on one direction, on the other direction, it might very well show the reaction that you were expecting, okay? But on the other side. So when we were expecting it above it, we thought this would be a support. And actually now that we're below it, when we're gonna go back here, this is gonna be a local resistance, unfortunately. Unfortunately, if you're not in a short, of course. So yeah, let's keep it on the charts, okay? So that's our new weekly level. I'm gonna put it here. That's our new daily level. I'm gonna put it in our little folder right there. And what do we have next? So this is for the high time frame level on the daily. So we said that we had this one here, this one here, this one is an all daily. So basically the price, what I like about this is the price is really nicely framed, okay? We also said something interesting last time. We said that upon seeing this drop, because we were coming from here, upon seeing this drop, what we were expecting with BIA was basically that the price would just go between this daily, here and there. And okay, maybe we haven't hit this daily yet, okay, with the short setup that we're expecting a bit below. But basically this is what happened. We went back lower, we didn't hit the daily, but we took the liquidity here. And basically we've been raging in this area, okay, taking the lows. And you could expect at some time to take the highs or maybe hit this daily level. But basically this ranging idea is very valid, and this is what we've been doing, okay? So it's always nice to see that this was respected. Now, if we go on the 4-hour chart, because we're going to zoom in a bit, okay? We put our daily levels, our weekly levels. Do we have new naked point of controls? That's what we want to see. So I'm just switching to this order flow software called ExoCharts. It's the same one as last time. And let's see, what do we have here? Okay, so we have a new naked point of control right there. So this is the 17,300. This is our short setup from last week, okay? And now we created a new one. This was the triangle formation, and we created a new point of control right there, which is very interesting. I'm going to tell you why later on. 16,537. Let's put it on. So let's just put our naked point of control right there. 16. So it's probably here, 537. Let's go above. That's very interesting. Look at that. This daily naked point of control was created on the way down. Okay, that was last week. It was hit on the way up. Okay, so it's no longer a naked point of control. And what happened? We created another one, a fresh naked point of control right above it. Basically, this area is showing us that it's a key area. Okay, it's been repeated. When you see a level that's getting repeated, it means that this is a key level. In your mind, it should be a key level. So I'm going to delete this older one. I'm going to keep this new one right there we just saw, 537. But this is interesting to see that we're repeating naked point of control at the same level that we had already last week. Okay, so you have a naked daily point of control. But what's also more important in my mind is that if you go on the weekly time frame, you will see that it's actually a naked weekly point of control. Okay, and so now you're starting to have some confluences. You see the same value here. That's a whole week of price action. The point of control with 9 million volume. It's the biggest. Is it delta or is it volume right there? I think, yeah, maybe you're right. Yeah, I think this is delta. So anyway, this is a big volume level, as you can see, and it's the same value as the daily. It's 537. So let's basically, we put another one here. What you would do in this case is that you delete one, but just for the sake of showing you that you have like two strong levels, I'm going to keep both of them. Okay, I'm going to put one above and one below. That way you can see. So the yellow one is the weekly naked point of control, and the white one is the daily point of control. Okay, so this already, we can say that this most probably is going to provide some kind of a reaction. Okay, now if we go on the 4-hour chart, what do we have? So yeah, so we have this daily level here untapped, this daily level here untapped, this daily level here untapped. So those are very nice levels to be aware of. This naked point of control above on top, this new naked point of control area that just made, and this weekly that you actually see has been traded through, back tested, and now we're rejecting again. So actually, the reaction I was telling you about earlier, that when you go straight through a high time frame level and you see no support whatsoever, you can expect a resistance when it's hitting back again. And this is basically what happened on the 4-hour time frame. Maybe on the 1 hour we can see it more clearly, but look at that. We went through it as if it didn't exist, and now we front run it here, and now we back tested it here. We tried to go above, took the liquidity here, and now we dumped again. Okay, so all in all, we're below this weekly, and if we want to have at least a reaction here, we need to see this level claimed. We need to see some kind of a this, where you claim it and then you go back up. Right now we don't have this. We don't have it. Okay. Should we add some fixed range pool? I think we should. So let's see what happens in terms of volume if we now take this whole range, adding this little area of consolidation as well. Okay. So what do we have here? So the value area low, if you include this bit of data, the value area low is right there, okay, right above this daily level. Okay, that's interesting to note. Let's just see where this goes to. Okay. So here you see already you have like the 618 area of retracement. You have the value area low that's a bit below. You have the daily level here. You have like a little pocket of support right there, okay? Now let's make other fixed range pools. Let's make a more academic fixed range pool from this low right there. We're at the value area low of this fixed range pool. You see how strong this level here in the middle is? It's the point of control of the whole range. It's naked point of control, the weekly and the daily. This is gonna be nice, I think, in my mind. This is a level you should have in your mind, I think. So we have the value area low here. Okay, what other fixed range pool can we make? Probably we can make like this mini uptrend right there. Where does that take us? Okay, the value area low. So we're at this area basically. We're at the value area low of this whole range and of this upper like move since we SFP'd this. We went back up, and here we are at the value area. We're fighting against this support, seeing whether it's going to provide a bounce or if we're going to go lower, okay, to maybe see what happens here around the 618 retracement. But right now, this is where we are. Okay, interesting. And then lastly, what you want to see is, of course, this area of consolidation right there. Okay, again, the point of control right there. So you have the value area low, value area high. Value area high really close to this point of control. So really, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see something like this, right? Like clearly take all the highs. So we took it here already. If you zoom in, you will see that this was taken out, right? But by a very few dollar. This is what happened here, and we had an amazing bounce, huh? But I mean, seeing this could give me the confidence to enter in a short, honestly. This would be like a very nice reaction, and I would be expecting something like this, like we go back up and then we dump again. Do we have other levels on the downside? Now, we had this little area right there. Okay, this like consolidation before the pump again, just for the sake of seeing where this takes us. Yeah. So the point of control right there. Yeah, you could argue that basically you came back into this mini range of consolidation, and this is what is providing support along with the value area low of the whole range, and this value area low also. Now we're below it, but basically this is like this area of support we're in. Okay, losing those levels would mean that, yeah, we're gonna go test probably this right there. Keep in mind that this retracement is in the middle of this inefficiency area, so we could clearly see something like this. Could clearly see like a dump through this. This could provide zero support. It's to be expected. And you could come and test this daily level right there, which seems actually pretty interesting. And also, for the sake of seeing what happens here, where's the point of control of this area? It's above. Okay. Why not? On the 4 hour, what do we have here? Do we have some kind of an order block? We don't really have an order block right there. Huh? I don't think we do. On the 8 hour, maybe. No, you have nothing. Let's go back on the 1 hour. No, not seeing anything. Honestly, this support area, I mean, it's nice. It is a nice place to take a long, but is it gonna hold? I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna hold, and I don't even know whether I would take like a swing trade off of that. I would probably scalp a trade. I would probably like expect some kind of a reaction, and if I see it, if I see that we hit it, and immediately after it you see some kind of a reaction with the order flow or just with the market structure itself, like you see a bounce, maybe I would scalp something here. But honestly, I'm still thinking that this is still the best trade to take right there. And I would like to see this daily level hit because it's kind of framing the price action. And it's fresh. I mean, we made it during this week, and I would really like to see something like this. You know, like you come down here, you create this daily level, you go here, you backtest the daily level, and then you go up and you try this daily level, and basically showing you that you're ranging between those levels. You know. And this would be a very nice scenario. Now the thing is, you don't have other, you're not seeing lots of confluences here. You don't see lots of confluences here, so that's a problem. So Pierre is telling me that we have bearish CVD. Are you talking on the local time frame? What's happening right there? Or are you talking on the okay on a more local time frame? Okay. We'll get to this later on. So basically, as a long setup, in my mind, okay, I want to see what happens here, because okay, you do have the value area low of the whole consolidation area and the 618 retracement. This in itself could provide something, and add to this that this high here, remember this high that we talked about in our long trade setup, this high could be an SR flip. You could see some kind of a support resistance flip in this area, where basically the price comes down here, hits this, okay, doesn't even hit the value area low, and then goes back up. You know, you could see something like this, and this would not be a surprising scenario. So let's keep this area in mind, okay? Not the best trade in the world, to be honest, but could provide a bounce, could provide a reaction, and then maybe test this area. Okay, so as a support area, I am still waiting for this. I'm still waiting for this level. I really hope that we get it maybe this week. Seeing the weakness here, maybe we can get it. And if not, if we see some kind of a bounce before here or here, I will take some action depending on the reaction and the order flow. I will see what happens. Okay, keep those lines on your charts. Know that they are support levels, and act accordingly. When you see the price coming here, if you see the price doing something like we saw here through the weekly, don't short, don't long blindly like this. Okay, you really want to see at least a local market structure change. You want to see something like this, maybe like this, and maybe you could enter here, you see. But after seeing some kind of a confirmation that you have a reaction, don't blindly just enter in long because there's a line on your chart. You're not trading what you want, you're trading what the market is telling you. So that's for the support area. Now, regarding the resistance area, so what do we have? We already said that locally this weekly is now acting as a resistance area, and actually I think we could do this. I personally like to do this. This area here is now a resistance area. Okay, it was the low of the triangle above us. It was previously a resistance, and now we backtested it again, and the market showed us that it is a resistance again. Okay, so we need to see something happening here. We need to see this area claimed again to be able to think of higher levels. Okay, so first of all, this is our local area. So 16,300 is now our local 16,250 to 300, basically, more give or take. This is our area of resistance now locally. Okay, now would I take a short from here? Not really. Not really. I personally I wouldn't, or at least it wouldn't be a swing short for multiple reasons. First of all, we are here, right? We were trading above during this week, this previous week, and now we're below it. And I would short here. No, this is a very poor place to open a swing short. Okay, if I'm shorting here, the only scenario that I'm basically expecting is a drop toward those levels. Okay, but you could definitely see something like this. And in that case, if you shorted here, you shorted the absolute bottom of this move down, right? So it's really not the best place, in my opinion, to look for a short. If you want to look for a short, wait for some kind of a retracement. Okay, so if we are now in the idea that we're making lower highs, okay, look at that, look at that. We're just making lower highs, all this price action is just lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. And if we're under the impression that this is like gonna go down and down and down, I know you want to short here, but in my opinion, the short to be taken was here or here or here, right? Here, for me, it's too late, or at least I wouldn't enter it. If I want to short this because I'm seeing that this is what's happening on the market, I would personally wait for a retracement. Where, you ask? Well, the retracement in my mind would be naturally this one. Okay, remember, this is, where is it, the point of control of this triangle area. I'm just going to put the triangle again so you can see it. Point of control is triangle area. Point of control of this uptrend, and more generally the point of control of this whole range. Okay, so all in all, we know that this is a big and you can see it here. Like, you see that here, this is the area where you have the most amount of volume. Here, empty, no volume. Here, empty, no volume. Here you have a bit of volume, but this is where the volume is happening, at this level. So in my opinion, this volume level coupled with this Fibonacci retracement to the 618 or the 65 or 66 level, coupled with the fact that we enter back into the triangle and this would still be the top of the triangle, so you have like a trend line here coming back here below. For me, this would give like a very easy short setup that you wanna get in if you see a reaction, because the market is showing you that probably it wants to go lower. Okay, so basically this would be a way better short than entering here. Okay, entering here or here is for me, because yeah, where do you put your stop loss? You could argue that you want to put your stop loss above this wick right there. Could be working out. Let's say you don't want to take let's say you're too impatient. You don't want to take this one and you want to short now because you think we're going to go lower. You could definitely put your stop loss above here. But this, everybody knows. Everybody knows that your stop loss is above this. And you could see, like, most likely you could see something like this, you know. And this could get stopped out very, very, very easily. Plus, you are very low in the charts. So in my opinion, shorting here, not the best idea. Here you should start to, the opposite, maybe start to think about longing. Maybe not here, but a bit lower, as we said. And the real short opportunity would come a bit higher, would come around this area, in my mind at least, because of volume level, because of Fibonacci retracement, because of entering back into this triangle, and we would be basically, let's say that now the price action today just goes like this, like we went down sharply, deviation from this triangle and go back in. Okay, you could see a reaction here. Keep in mind something. If this was a deviation from the triangle, this is what we call a fake out of the triangle. And if this is a fake out of the triangle, it means that basically this is a very bullish price action, and you could also expect the price to go back up. But because of the low invalidation, the very low risk trade, personally, if I see this, I would really, really, really be interested in shorting this area. If I see some kind of a reaction, if the order flow is telling me that, okay, we're seeing some selling imbalances, some shorts opening, some longs that are getting a bit trapped above here, I would think about shorting here because of the easy invalidation. I keep in mind that this is a very bullish thing and we can still go back up, but also keep in mind the general bearish side of the market. We've been just making lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. So why wouldn't we make a lower high here? This would fit the scenario. This could completely be another lower high, and then we go back lower, okay? And this could be like a nice short opportunity. It's we're here talking about a 2.44% rise, sorry. So yeah, it is attainable today. Yeah, it is doable, but yeah, we have to wait and see. So this is like the first, let's say, more local trade, more local short, because 2.4%, yeah, is a very short-term target, to be honest. You can get there very fast. And as a more, like a higher time frame level, which one could we have? Let's just put on our naked points of control. So we have those. We still have this one right there. This pivot is not taken out. But now we need to just adjust our Fibonacci retracement and put it back here. You see, so this is no longer aligned perfectly, but it's okay. It's okay, because what's interesting is that you have this liquidity right there, this liquidity pocket right there, right? And what I really like about this idea is that all this price action that we've been doing, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, at every single one of those levels, you can be sure that people are putting their stop losses, stop losses, stop loss. So you could see, maybe, and I would love to see this, getting everybody out of their positions, triggering all their stop losses. When you trigger a short stop loss, you're basically adding buying pressure to the market, because in order to close a short, you need to buy. So you're forcing all the people that shorted all those areas to actually buy back. And by buying back, you can create this kind of a short squeeze up to where? To this area of confluence that we have here, which is the naked point of control, the 618 area. And lastly, to take those two highs that are really, really close. And this is also another interesting trade setup. So you would need to adjust where you want to enter there, okay? Because you have multiple scenarios here. One of them could be that you actually take all the stop losses, you hit the 618, and then you start going down. This could be an entry. You could enter the setup here, but you haven't taken out this liquidity right there. The best entry for me would be to take out this and see that the wick goes below it. So you see something like this, below, maybe a back test, and there you go. And you enter here. That would be really, really cool. And if during this like liquidity grab, we can hit this naked point of control to have this additional selling pressure, sorry, this would be like the cherry on top. That would be amazing. And so for me, the trading setup is, so this naked point of control is still interesting, but now it's a bit lower in my mind. I'm not sure we're gonna hit it, because if I see some kind of a reaction even without hitting this naked point of control, I could be tempted to take a trade here, to take another short. And this is, and you're talking about, where are we now? We're here. Talking about 6% rise before we take this short. So this could take some time to have, if we ever have it. We might not even have it. But it is very, 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 I mean, interesting in terms of liquidity grab, in terms of technical levels. It would be really, really nice. And just let's see that, yeah. If you extend this fixed range pool and you take this area, like we usually do with Pierre, here you see that the value area high is right at the 618, okay? So honestly, I could do this instead, okay? Put it right above the naked point of control, just in case we decide to go above it, just like a precaution. And this could be the setup, right? When you see this here, that's really cool. That's really cool. You take out all those highs that have been left alone here. Here you have resting liquidity that every big institution and market makers are seeing. This is resting liquidity, okay? So upon seeing a move like that, you need to react. If you see that, you need to react, in my opinion, and you need to take a trade right there. It could be a losing trade. I'm not saying this is going to work out, but If you see this, for me, I know this is going to be a trade. This is going to be a short trade, and I'm talking about a 9% potential short trade that you can take back to our long trade that is below, basically. The long trade that we were talking about last week already. So yeah, that's basically my trading plan for the week. It's going to be wait and see what happens here. Here, I'm not interested in taking any trades, to be honest, okay? We lost this triangle consolidation. This uptrend here is being challenged right now. It is still a higher low compared to this, but you could also see it as a lower high and a series of lower high compared to this previous price action. And we could dump lower. And if we do, the next area of interest would be the 618 around the value area low. We talked about it with the daily level right below. This could be interesting. But the best long for me would be this one. Now, if we start rising again, that's what we talked about. You have locally, so first of all, you have this weekly that we need to break out, but I wouldn't take a short from here. You have this local short that you can take from the naked point of control, the triangle area, and the retracement, the Fibonacci retracement. This could be a nice entry with a very low invalidation. And the best short scenario locally within this range would be potentially this value area high, this 618, and the naked puck above. Okay, should we start claiming this? Should we start doing something like that? The last level where I could be interested in would be to see what happens at this daily level, because this daily level, I need to remind this maybe because I think you guys forgot. This daily level is this, basically. Okay, it's the low of the previous range right there. So the low of the previous range, we talked about it last week. Low of the previous range became a new daily level right there. And it's basically framing this whole price action. And it's, for me, it's kind of the line in the sand where if you start seeing this reclaimed, you are back in this range or you're challenging this range. And in my mind, because we went super low, super fast here, you could see something like that, okay? So if we want to summarize, best short here. If not, line in the sand right there. I would like to see the reaction here, but I would be interested in shorting this area as well. And if this area is broken, I would wait to go back to those levels. As you can see, you have some levels here of resistance, but then we would need maybe a new video to give some some confluence levels, you know, because this is right now it's just lines on the chart. But yeah, basically that's my trading plan. Short here, long here, intermediate levels where I want to take trades because very low invalidation, and that's it. And I'm still holding on my long from here. Okay, my stop loss is below this, so it can clearly get taken out. I wouldn't be surprised if I get taken out, but I'm also open to the idea of longing again if I see some kind of a support reaction here, or best idea here around this area. So we talked about this right there. I think it would be interesting because we saw some weakness here to think, okay, if this level doesn't hold, what do we have below? What do we have below, and what would be the next area of support? So let's clean up our chart a bit. I'm gonna keep this because that's interesting. Okay, so let me just add this short setup. What day are we? 28, 11. Okay, that's gonna be for next week. I'm just going to close this one. I'm gonna repeat this one because that's the same trade as last week. It wasn't hit yet. Okay, and so those are the trades that we're expecting. Closing that, removing all that. That is also a nice local short. Okay, I'm gonna keep it like that. That's the SR flip, it's fine. Naked puck, daily, weekly, monthly. Okay. So, ultimately, if we zoom out, this is very bearish. On the monthly, this is very bearish, okay? On the weekly, also very bearish. We're not finding any kind of key support that is showing you some sign of strength. So in your mind, you could be thinking, okay, this is going to go lower. And you would be right. There's more probability that we actually do this than we actually start doing that, for sure. So what would be the next interesting levels? Because Bybit has only price action towards starting from November 18. What we need to do is switch to another exchange, an older exchange, so Bitstamp, for example. And here you can see that Bitstamp, we had already some things here. Okay, let's remove everything. Bitstamp has way more price action. You can see you can actually go, if I go on the log, you will see it on the log scale better. Yeah, we go up to, wow, to the 2011. Wow. So what do we have here as, so look on the, so I put the log scale because those levels are really, you see, you're talking about Bitcoin when it was at $10, and here at $100, and here at 4,000, and here 69,000. So you actually need to put the log. If you don't put the log here, this is what your chart looks like. Okay, and you could feel that this is a huge bounce compared to this, but it's not the case. Like if you come here, that's 300%. And if you come from here to here, that's 4,500%. This bounce is way bigger than this bounce. So in order to not be deceived by the look of the chart, you put the log on, and now you understand why this is way bigger than this. Basically, this is a percentage chart, okay? So that's more interesting. So on the monthly, if you put on the log chart since the creation of Bitcoin, we are still bullish. We are still bullish. We're just moving up, right? And now we're hitting this area of this back, this previous area of resistance. We're hitting it. And is it going to provide support or not? We're going to see in the following weeks. But we could definitely see something like that. Okay? But let's say we don't. Let's say that we start dumping. Where would be the next area of support, the key level of support? So let's start mapping everything we have. So what do we have below? We have here a monthly level right there. Let's put it here. You have a monthly level right there. You have another monthly level right there. It's at 6,000. And let's put this one as the last one here, 3,000, okay? Yeah, I think that's enough, because if you drop from here, you're talking about an 80% drop. So hopefully this doesn't happen in 1 week, and we will have time to adjust our levels, okay? So that's the monthly level. If we go on the weekly now chart, what do we have? On the weekly chart, do we have any? You see, you remember we talked about it last week. This area here is really like empty. There's nothing. So you could really see something like that very fast. We do have something to keep in mind, which is this right there. This high here that was never backtested before. So you could provide some kind of a resistance here, support, sorry. And I remember Pierre talking about this level. You could see something like that. This could be like, bam, you come here and then you go back up. Could definitely be this. But let's say it's not. Let's say this is not like the key level. This is not the place where we're going to bounce, and we're going to go lower, okay? So we're going to go and we're going to enter what area? We're going to enter this area, basically. We're going to enter this range, which is arguably bigger than this range. In terms of time spent, in terms of, you see, so basically we were in this range, okay? In the last, let's say last year, we were in this range, okay? And then now we dump from this range. We are somehow, we created like a mini consolidation range, which is big, It sounds like it's little, but it's actually, you're talking about how many? 147 days. So it is kind of a big range. But compared to this, where you spent almost 2 years here, yeah, how many days here? 500 days, yeah, 500 days, give or take. And this range right there, 1,400 days. Yeah, that's a big range. Okay, so basically, in my mind, the way I'm seeing it is, we had this range, okay, we lost it, kind of backtested, but we lost it. We are slowly consolidating but downwards, and then now we dropped again, and now we're in this like kind of no man's land where you could say arguably that we entered back this area, and the longer we stay here and the longer we're basically gaining acceptance back into this area. So your next move, what is your next move? Well, arguably it's to see what's happening in this area, because if you're back into this level, you want to see where the point of control is, you want to see where the value area low is, you want to have all this information to be prepared whenever the price drops. So let's do some fixed pools. Let's try with that. So that's like the very easy fixed pool. The first fixed pool that you would have would be, sorry, just give me a second here. Okay, sorry, my bad. In this fixed pool right there, you see that the value area high here at 9,000 is aligned with this monthly level, which is interesting. Now we can do another fixed pool of this consolidation area right there. Like we're gonna do multiple ones to see which one is interesting. Okay, you see this node here, this volume node. Here it's actually the point of control of the whole area. So that's interesting. If we go from here, okay. If we go here, okay. Okay. So this right there, what you see right, what you see right there, this is the COVID low. So when COVID hit us pretty strong in 2020, and we were all confined, basically, the price dropped to Bitcoin. It drops to 3,800. Okay, and after dropping here, it started its very bullish uprise that ended up at $69,000. Okay, and now we might have an opportunity to go test back those levels because we're entering back this area. Okay, so the first area that you have in mind would be this area of consolidation right there. Okay, so if I were to be like very technical, I would say that here is an area of consolidation within the bigger one that I showed you. You have this area of consolidation here, and this area is actually within an even bigger one, which is this one. Okay, where you include everything since 2017. You're talking about 5 years ago. So let's go into this one here because it's like the first area of support that we're going to be hitting, and it's very interesting because you have a volume level here, you have the point of control of this consolidation area aligned with the value area high of this whole since 2017 basically range area. You have a monthly level right there, and on top of that you have some resting liquidity below. So honestly, when I see this on a very high time frame perspective, I mean, for me it's like a no-brainer. That here is going to be our support area, like our very big support area. But you're talking about another drop, should we arrive here, of 40%. But this could provide a huge bounce that not everybody is seeing, I think, in my point of view, where you actually go back here and then you go back above and you have all the juice to get to this all-time high and create a new all-time high. And what I like about this idea is that on the log time frame and on a very high time frame, here people are going to get crazy. I'm going to think, okay, that's it, we're going to zero. But if you zoom out, this is still a very bullish uptrend. And hitting this level here, you're not even taking this coronavirus low, and you would be bouncing from here, still very bullish, and you go back up. So this scenario is a very bullish scenario in my opinion. So it's weird, but hitting $9,000 is a very bullish scenario if we have a reaction there. Okay, and I honestly think we have everything for a reaction. You have a monthly level, you have multiple monthly levels, you have this one and this one. You have the volume here of how many years? From April 19 to October 20. So you have more than 1 year of consolidation point of control that was not back tested. Okay. You have the value area high of this whole area, this whole square that I showed you earlier. You have like lots of reasons for this to happen, and I'm sure that we're also gonna have a very nice Fibonacci confluence. I'm sure about that. So let's start doing this. So of course here you see the problem. The Fibonacci is not on the log scale, so you have to put it here on the log scale. Look at that. This is I mean, it doesn't get better than that, honestly. I don't think it gets better than that. You have everything in this area that tells you this is a buying area, clearly. And keep in mind that the market, when people are going to see the price, if we get there, the price dropping 44%, everybody's going to be so bearish. Everybody's going to saying, that's it. It's the end of Bitcoin. We're at 69,000 and now we're back at 9,000. That's it. Sell everything. And I honestly think this is probably the best opportunity we will have maybe in the next 3, 4, 5 years. You never know. Because if the bullish uptrend keeps on going up, well, this is what I mean, if you do this, let's imagine like you have a perfect symmetry of price action. You're talking about, in 1,000 days, more or less, like if you do like a little simulation, in 1,000 days you can go back up to maybe $100,000, and you would have bought at 9,000, where everybody was bearish. You knew that technically it was a big level. You knew that the whole market was bearish, so that's an additional confluence for you. And you were buying here where everybody was selling. This is a very, very bullish scenario. Okay, now we could definitely bounce from here or from here, right? But I don't think that this is going to give us the juice to go back up. I think the big area is going to be here, because everybody's going to start capitulating, everybody's going to start selling, and big money is going to come in, people are going to be buying, and everybody who sold here is going to start to buy here, and pushing the price back up. If you see 9,000 hit and then you see like a rise back into 20,000, 16,000, then 20,000, and 30,000, that's it. We're going to go back up, and the bullish uptrend is still in, and you would have bought here at this area. So this area, this sub 15K area, the best in my opinion is this one. Wow, I sniped the I sniped the 618 retracement area, but yeah, basically that's the area. That's what I'd be looking for. So you could say 10,000 from 10,600, because I have a monthly level here. But honestly, I would really like to see this level hit right there. This area hit. I would love to see something like that. Like price comes here, here, go here lower, start getting acceptance here, and then go back up. And here you would have like some buying opportunities for sure. So yeah, that's our next area of support, which gives you in perspective that it's at 44% drop from where we are now. Huh? It's very far away. We could see the price of Bitcoin in a few weeks from now, beginning of next year, you never know, at $9,000. And this would still not be bearish on the very high scheme, on the very, very high time frame level since the creation of Bitcoin. This would still be a very, very bullish opportunity. So I think it's very important to have this image in your head, because those opportunities are, in my opinion, are golden. But you need to see a reaction. If we start doing that, I mean, okay, as big as this area is, if the market is dropping, okay, at some point you will have to shift your bias. And that's actually that would be a good point. Like, at what level would you start thinking that on a very high time frame, oh, wait a second, what is that? Sorry, the link doesn't work for me. Same here, it says, oh. So you guys are not able to join? Mia. Ah, damn. Okay. Let me check that. Permission that that's why. My bad, guys. Okay, here. Okay, okay, okay. Well, it's okay. I mean, yeah. Okay, we're getting okay. Anyway, we're gonna send you the video right after. Okay, so it's not gonna be like a live video, but it's like right after we're recording it at the same time. So we're gonna send you the video. It's a shame. I would have loved it if you guys could see it at the same time. But anyway, just you will review it and we will discuss it later on in Discord if needed. Okay. So yeah, that's for the sub 15k levels. For me, the biggest one is here. Should we lose it? Should we lose it? Where would the bullish vibe start to fade? For me, it would be losing those lows here. You know, going below. I know it's very far away, but going below 3,800, this point of control right there. And I'm sure that if we actually take this to here, yeah, the point of control since 2017 is at 3,800. So the big line in the sand saying, okay, Bitcoin now is like in a very bearish market on a very high time frame level would be losing those levels. Okay, losing those levels would start to look ugly, because even on the log scale, you would be doing something like this, right? Like going here, probably reaction here, and then you lose it again, and then you back test it, and then you come here, and all this bit right there would really start to look ugly, because then you have like you're opening the opportunity to go to sub even 1,000 levels, right? So yeah, but we're really not there yet. This is like big time speculation. Right now we need to trade what the chart is giving us. And what the chart is giving us is an amazing buying opportunity should we get it between, let's say, 8,700 to 10,000. Yeah, you have an amazing buying opportunity in my mind, right here. This is actually an area where I would be thinking to even fill up a bit of my spot account. I wouldn't be against buying here a bit. Yeah, and that would be it. It would be interesting to do, but because the video now is I think a bit too long, it would be interesting to do the opposite one with like a high time frame resistance area. Like what would be like the above 20k, 30k, 40k, to see what we're expecting. Okay, everybody's on it. Sounds good. Thanks. Okay. So yeah, that's about it. I'm hearing people joining the session. Hello, John. Hello, Miana. So we were basically mapping out the levels below 15,000, because we're discussing about everything that could happen if we lose this area of support. Like, where would be the next area? The first one is going to be this 13,800 here, because of this high, this significant high. But let's say we lose it, and we could definitely lose it, like we start doing this and this. For me, the most amazing area to actually buy even spot Bitcoin would be this 9,000, 8,000 area. That's just golden. You have monthly level, you have the global 618 retracement, you have the volume point of control of almost 1.5 year price action here. You have the value area high of this whole of this. Actually, you have the value area high of let me just put it back in, because yeah, you have the value area high of this area of consolidation. You have everything here to tell you that this is gonna provide a bounce. So it's gonna be a high time frame bounce, huh? It's not going to be like, don't expect to see it like on the 1 minute or anything, but for sure here it would be a very interesting opportunity, a buying opportunity in my mind. And that's it. That's it for this week's session. We're going to send the video on our Discord channel, of course. And yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the Discord, and we'll see you in the channel. Okay, bye everyone.